Listen to me. Right now, as you're watching this, there's a woman somewhere second, guessing herself. She's standing in front of her closet. She's asking herself if she's still got it, if she's still attractive, if men even notice her anymore. And I'm here to tell you something. You're asking the wrong question, because the truth is, you've never been more powerful, you've never been more magnetic, and what you wear, what you choose to put on your body, it's not about hiding. It's about revealing the woman you've become. Let's talk about the 8 sexiest things older women wear according to men. And I promise you, number 7 is going to change everything you thought you knew about attraction. Let me start with something that might surprise you. I was having coffee with a friend of mine, successful guy, late 40s. We're sitting there and he says to me, "Matt, you know what I can't stop thinking about." And I'm thinking he's about to tell me about some 25-year-old he met at the gym, but he doesn't. He says, "There's this woman at my office. She's maybe 50 too, and yesterday she walked past my desk wearing a white button-down shirt. Simple, crisp, nothing fancy, and I couldn't take my eyes off her." I asked him why. And he said something I'll never forget. He said, "Because she looked like she knew exactly who she was." That's what we're really talking about here, not clothes, identity, confidence that's been earned, not given, not faked, earned, through years of figuring out what matters and what doesn't, and that is the sexiest thing a woman can wear. But let's get specific, because you didn't come here for philosophy. You came here for answers. Number 1, a perfectly fitted blazer. Here's what men don't tell you. When we see a woman in a blazer that fits her like it was made for her, something happens in our brain. We see power, we see intention, we see a woman who's got her life together, and that is incredibly attractive. But here's the key, it has to fit. I'm not talking about something you grabbed off the rack 10 years ago that kind of works. I'm talking about a blazer that hugs your shoulders, that tapers at your waist, that makes you feel like you could walk into a boardroom or a bar and own either one. I remember this woman I met at a speaking event. She was probably in her late 50s. She came up to me after I spoke, and she was wearing this navy blazer. It was tailored, it was sharp, and when she shook my hand, I noticed something. She didn't apologize for taking up space. She didn't say, "Sorry, I just wanted to quickly say." She said, "I loved what you said about vulnerability. Let me tell you why it matters." And I thought, this woman gets it. The blazer wasn't the reason she was confident, but it was the physical manifestation of that confidence. Men notice that. We notice when a woman dresses like she respects herself, like she's not trying to blend into the background, and a well-fitted blazer says, "I'm here, I matter, and I know it." You can wear it with jeans. You can wear it with a dress. You can throw it over a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it fits like it belongs to you, not like you're borrowing it from someone else's life. Number 2, dark jeans that fit your body. Now let's talk about jeans. And let's be honest, a lot of women are walking around in jeans that don't fit the body they have today. They fit the body they had 5 years ago, or the body they hope to have 6 months from now. And I'm going to say something that might sting a little. That's not fair to you. You deserve to wear clothes that make you feel incredible right now. Not when you lose 10 pounds. Not when you tone up now. Dark jeans, well fitted, a little bit of stretch. High-waisted if that works for your body. And here's the thing. Men aren't looking at your jeans thinking, are those the right brand? We're not thinking about the label. We're thinking, does she look comfortable in her skin? Because when you wear jeans that actually fit you, you move differently, you stand differently, you don't tug at the waistband, you don't adjust them every 5 minutes, you just exist, and that ease, that comfort, that's what we find attractive. I was talking to a guy recently. He told me about a woman he'd been seeing. He said, "Matt, she's got this pair of dark jeans. I don't know what it is about them, but every time she wears them, I can't stop looking at her." I asked him what was special about the jeans. He said, I don't think it's the jeans, I think it's the way she feels in them. She just seems so comfortable, like she's not trying to be anyone else. That's it, that's the secret. Jeans that fit your body now. Not the body you used to have, not the body you wish you had, the body you have, because that body, your body, it's the only one that's lived your life, and it deserves to be dressed well. Number 3, a classic white t-shirt. I know what you're thinking. A white t-shirt, that's it. That's one of the sexiest things I can wear, yes, but not just any white t-shirt. I'm talking about one that fits right. That's not too tight, not too loose, one that's good quality. You know the kind, it's soft, it drapes nicely, it doesn't cling to every bump or ride up when you move. It just exists on your body in this effortless way. There's something about a woman in a white t-shirt that's universally attractive. And I think it's because it's so unpretentious. It says, I don't need to try too hard. It says, I'm comfortable with simplicity. And in a world where everyone's trying to stand out by wearing the loudest, most complicated thing, simplicity becomes radical. I'll give you an example. I was at a dinner party a few years ago. There was this woman there. She was probably in her early 50s. She walked in wearing a white t-shirt tucked into black trousers. That's it. No jewelry, no scarf, just her, and every man in that room noticed her, not because she was dressed provocatively, but because she looked so at ease, so confident in her simplicity. One of the guys there later said to me, who was that? And I said, why? And he said, I don't know. She just seemed so cool. Cool, that's the word. A white t-shirt makes you look cool. Not trying too hard cool. Effortlessly cool. And you can dress it up. You can wear it with a blazer, with a statement necklace, with heels, or you can dress it down with jeans, with sneakers, with a leather jacket. It's a blank canvas, and the painting is you. Number 4, red lipstick, okay. Technically, this isn't clothing. But it's something you wear, and men have been mesmerized by red lipstick for decades, centuries even, and there's a reason for that. Red lipstick is a statement. It says, I'm not invisible, I'm not fading into the background, I'm here. And for an older woman, that's power. I want you to think about something. When you put on red lipstick, how do you feel? Do you stand a little taller? Do you speak a little bolder? Do you make a little more eye contact? I bet you do, because red lipstick changes the way you see yourself. And when you see yourself differently, men see you differently too. I remember talking to a woman at one of my events. She was probably in her mid-60s, gorgeous, confident. She came up to me and she said, Matt, I started wearing red lipstick 2 years ago, and it changed my life. I asked her how. She said, it made me feel visible again, like I mattered, like I hadn't disappeared just because I got older. And then she said something that stuck with me. She said, men started looking at me again, not because I looked younger, but because I looked like I wanted to be seen. That's the difference. Red lipstick isn't about looking younger. It's about being unapologetic. It's about saying, I'm still here, I'm still vibrant, I'm still a woman. And men respond to that. We respond to women who aren't shrinking, who aren't trying to blend in, who are bold enough to wear something that demands attention. Number 5, a leather jacket. There's something about a leather jacket that's timeless. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or 60. A good leather jacket makes you look like you've lived, like you've got stories, like you've seen things and done things and you're not done yet. And that edge, that hint of rebellion, it's incredibly sexy. Men are drawn to women who have a little bit of danger to them, not literal danger, but the suggestion that you're not predictable, that you're not going to do what everyone expects. A leather jacket gives you that. It says, I'm sophisticated, but I'm not boring. It says, I play by my own rules. I knew a woman who was in her late 50s. She was a corporate executive, very polished, very put together. But on the weekends, she'd throw on this beat-up leather jacket. And she looked completely different. She looked free. She looked like herself. And I remember her telling me, this jacket reminds me that I'm more than my job, more than my responsibilities. I'm still the girl who used to sneak out and go to concerts. That's what a leather jacket does. It connects you to the parts of yourself that are still wild, still untamed, and men can sense that. We can sense when a woman hasn't completely surrendered to societal expectations, when she's held on to a piece of herself that's just for her. And that's magnetic, number 6. Something that shows your collarbone. Here's something men don't talk about enough, the collarbone. There's something incredibly elegant and sensual about a woman's collarbone. And when you wear something that shows it, whether it's a boat neck top and off, the shoulder sweater, a V-neck dress, it draws the eye, not in an obvious way, in a subtle, sophisticated way. The collarbone suggests grace. It suggests femininity, and for an older woman, it's one of those features that doesn't change with age. Your collarbone at 55 is just as beautiful as it was at 25, maybe more so, because now it's part of a woman who's lived, who's loved, who's lost, who's survived, and that depth, that history, it makes every feature more meaningful. I was at a gallery opening once, and there was this woman there. She was probably 60. She was wearing this simple black dress with a wide neckline that showed her collarbones. And I watched men gravitate toward her all night, not because she was flirting, not because she was trying to get attention, but because there was something about the way she carried herself, something graceful and assured. And that neckline, it framed her in this way that felt both elegant and inviting. Don't underestimate the power of showing a little skin in a way that's tasteful, that's refined. Your collarbone is one of the most underrated features you have. Show it off, number 7, confidence in your own skin, all right. This is the one I promised would change everything, because here's the truth. You could be wearing the most expensive outfit in the world. You could have on the perfect jeans, the perfect blazer, the perfect lipstick, but if you don't feel confident in your own skin, none of it matters. Men don't fall for clothes. We fall for the woman wearing them. And the most attractive thing you can wear is the belief that you are enough exactly as you are. I'm going to tell you a story. I was at a friend's wedding a couple years ago. There was a woman there, probably in her early 60s. She was wearing a simple dress, nothing fancy, and she spent the whole night dancing, laughing, talking to people. She wasn't the youngest woman there. She wasn't the most conventionally beautiful, but every single person at that wedding was drawn to her, including me. I found myself talking to her at the bar, and I said, "You seem like you're having the best time." And she said, "I am, because I stopped caring what people think about me about 10 years ago, and it's the most liberating thing I've ever done." That's it. That's the secret. Confidence in your own skin isn't about being perfect. It's about being free. Free from the need to apologize for who you are, free from the need to shrink yourself to make other people comfortable, free from the belief that your worth is tied to how you look. When you walk into a room and you're comfortable with yourself, men feel it. We feel it in the way you make eye contact, in the way you laugh, in the way you speak, and that confidence, that self-assuredness, it's more attractive than anything you could ever put on your body. So yes, wear the blazer, wear the jeans, wear the red lipstick, but wear them because they make you feel good. Not because you think they'll make someone else look at you. Because the moment you start dressing for yourself, that's when you become truly irresistible. Number 8, a genuine smile, last one, and it's the most important. A genuine smile, not a polite smile. Not a smile you put on because you think you're supposed to. A real smile, the kind that lights up your eyes, the kind that comes from a place of joy, of contentment, of knowing that life is good and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Men can tell the difference between a fake smile and a real one, and a real smile, it's like a magnet. It draws us in. It makes us want to know you. It makes us think, what does she know that I don't? Because a woman who smiles like that, she's figured something out. She's made peace with something, and we want to be around that energy. I was sitting in a coffee shop a few months ago. There was a woman sitting across from me. She was probably in her late 50s. She was by herself, reading a book, and at one point she reads something that made her smile, not a little smile, a big, genuine light up the room's smile. And I remember thinking that woman is attractive, and not because of what she was wearing, not because of how she looked, but because in that moment she was completely present, completely content, and that's rare. That's special. Your smile is a window into who you are, and when it's genuine, when it comes from a place of real happiness, it's one of the sexiest things you can wear, because it tells men that you're happy with your life, that you're not waiting for someone to complete you, that you're already whole, and paradoxically, that's what makes men want to be part of your life. So let's bring this all together. The 8 sexiest things older women wear. A perfectly fitted blazer, dark jeans that fit your body now, a classic white t-shirt, red lipstick, a leather jacket, something that shows your collarbone, confidence in your own skin, and a genuine smile. But here's what I really want you to take away from this. None of these things matter if you're wearing them for the wrong reasons. If you're wearing them because you think they'll make you look younger, if you're wearing them because you think they'll make a man notice you, if you're wearing them because you're trying to compete with women half your age, because that's not what this is about. This is about stepping into your power. This is about recognizing that you have earned the right to take up space, to be seen, to be desired, not in spite of your age, but because of it, because you've lived, because you've learned, because you've become a woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it. I talk to so many women who feel invisible as they get older, who feel like they've been sidelined, like society has decided they're not relevant anymore. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You're not invisible. You're not irrelevant. You're more powerful than you've ever been. And the men who matter, the men who are worth your time, they see that. They're attracted to that. So wear the blazer because it makes you feel powerful. Wear the red lipstick because it makes you feel bold. Wear the leather jacket because it reminds you that you're not done living yet. And wear the smile because you've earned it, because life is good. Because you're good. Because you're exactly who you're supposed to be. And if you're standing in front of your closet right now wondering if you've still got it, let me answer that question for you. You do. You've always had it and you always will. The only question is, are you going to own it? Are you going to step into it? Are you going to wear it with pride because the world is waiting for you, not the younger version of you, not the version of you that fits some outdated standard of beauty, the real you, the woman you've become, and trust me, she's worth showing up for. Now go put on that blazer, put on that red lipstick, and go show the world what you're made of, because you've never been more ready, and you've never been more beautiful. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment telling me which of these 8 things you're going to start wearing, or maybe you've got your own. Maybe there's something you wear that makes you feel incredible. Share it, because we're all learning from each other. And your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Until next time, remember this, you're not getting older, you're getting bolder, and that's the sexiest thing of all.